Hello and welcome to Dice Try, the Dungeons & Dragons podcast inspired by whimsical works of old such as Wizard of Oz and Phantom Tollbooth. My name is Daniel Schaub and I am your Dungeon Master and host. Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Dice Try. Merry Christmas! Oh. Were you all good boys and girls?
No.
That's a weird question for you to ask.
I'm not sitting on your lap.
You're not saying
Or are we? All of us are actually on Dan's lap.
In the story, we are.
Well, no, in real life too. Tidbit, we all actually sit on each other's laps to record this podcast. Since we only have one microphone, it only faces one direction.
On top of the
so
other.
we have to sit
Yeah.
one on top of the other.
That's
to
right.
Record.
Sharing is caring.
And I have the strongest thighs, so I go on the bottom.
Didn't know you were a bottom.
Hey.
So, let's welcome back our players, Paul, Earl, Crista, and our audio engineer, GTM, which of course stands for
Can't wait.
Good Tidings Merriment.
Yes.
Let's ask you guys some questions.
Thank you.
Krista,
Yes.
what's the best Christmas present you ever got?
Best Christmas present I ever got. I don't know. I'm just going to say anything that my lovely boyfriend gave me.
Aww.
Because he is the best gift giver.
Who was that?
Mr. GTM is one of the best gift givers that ever existed.
Actually, I need to chime in and vouch for that. He
Yeah.
legitimately might be one of the best people to get gifts from. He's real good at it.
Yeah.
Gift Titan, man.
I'm going to say that because no gifts come to my mind at the moment.
Yeah, GTM of course stands for Gifts Trademark.
Yes.
Perfect.
Is it gifts with an exclamation point?
Gifts. Trademark.
Yeah, exactly.
Just my face.
Gifts to you.
Actually, isn't that a thing? I feel like you
I was
could
going to copyright you, but now I
I
can't.
know, but this is actually kind of a brilliant idea. What if you did, Gabe, use your powers and have a gift giving, for inattentive husbands and hapless humans who want to give good gifts but they don't know how.
Like a loot crate.
Yeah, like a loot crate or
Yeah.
it's like Stitch Fix but
Yeah,
for
Stitch Fix, but for
gifts. So it's I
get
don't
on
know.
that, babe.
That's kind of insane.
So I guess we
it's
should
a
do that.
personal shopper, I guess, or something like that. But
Well, Earl, I have a question for you.
yeah.
Is there anything you ever wanted as a present that you never got and that still haunts you to this day? Just call out your parents right now.
No, see.
Why don't you love me enough to get me this?
I don't know. I think this is gonna sound really but I don't think I've ever had a real sort of covetous, I must have this thing, and if I don't have this thing, I will. Brah! When I was super young, I was really into. It's a version of the Power Rangers. Because the Power Rangers are one of many iterations of the the Power Rangers that we know in America are one of many iterations of the sort of Super Sentai genre, I guess. And when I was about 6 years old, I think 6 or 7, I was obsessed with this one group of Super Sentai Rangers that were super popular in Korea called Flashmen. The story was really great. They were all weird and had powers, but there was this awesome Megazord. It was 2 tanks, 2 planes, and then another battle cruiser thing that all made instead of animals, they were all ships and things. So they all created the big Megazord. And for Christmas, I had asked for it and really wanted it, not even realizing if it existed. I was just I really want robots. Didn't get it. Was, I think, crushed for a little while. I never really said anything. I don't know, I was a weird kid. I just probably cried to myself in my room.
Damn.
But then, all whatever, because my birthday later that year, my parents got me the fucking Megazord, and I was like, oh my god! And I wept, and it was a great sort of. There's also video of me I used to be a kid that like opens like really specific
along
wrapping
the
paper,
seams.
like, but partly because like when I was a kid, my parents would be like, "We are saving that wrapping paper. Don't you dare ruin it." Serious, like
Damn.
frugal Asian parents. But I remember distinctly, like I lifted up the corner of it, and as soon as I saw the box, like Flashman look, like I fucking. Like, there's video of me going like, ah! And I like rip it apart and I tear the thing up and I'm holding this box and I'm literally just jumping down over and over and over and over again. Mind you, this is in Korea, in a small, tiny apartment, in a giant apartment high-rise complex, where our neighbors downstairs eventually like came upstairs and was like, "Is everything okay?" I feel like I've been really lucky in that I don't think I've ever had like that sort of like unrequited present moment. Or maybe this just means I'm really spoiled.
Fair. Paul, I have a question for you.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your gift wrapping skills? Because I would put mine probably at a 2.
I was gonna say 2 or 3.
Yeah, because are you just one of those people who like puts it down in the middle of paper and you like pull out way too much paper and you just like bundle it up and tape it closed?
It's either too much or not enough. Like I'll start wrapping it and suddenly there's like the side of a box is totally open. You can see everything that it is. So I just take another piece and just plop it on top and wrap tape around it. It's done. I'm terrible at it. I'd rather just use a fucking bag.
And do you do the thing where this happens to me like every year when I go to get a gift? I get the wrapping paper and then I forget to put fucking labels on it.
Oh,
so just
yeah.
like in Sharpie on the Crista.
Yeah. Oh, you know what you can do is take like a square of the wrapping paper, fold it in half, tape it on, and that's your little tag.
Yeah.
Why am I
That's
so
what
dumb?
Why am I dumb? I can't help you with that.
Damn. Did anyone else have to like in school like do like volunteer hours like gift wrapping?
No.
thing? Like
Those were not the volunteer hours that I did.
What's called detention?
I just vaguely remember in high school, like, cause I wasn't a big gift wrap person, and then I had like it was for a club of some sort when I was in school, and we basically set up at a fucking Barnes and Noble, and we had to gift wrap everyone's gift wraps.
Yeah.
And it was the most maddening, horrifying thing ever. But it's like when you have a line of like 20 people deep who all want their one book gift wrapped, it was just, I don't know, like I feel like now I'm just like, my gift wrapping's turned into sort of a mechanical robot process that I don't even think about. I don't know, gift wrap's a really interesting thing where I don't think anyone's ever upset. Like if someone gives you a gift wrap thing and it's not the greatest, it's maybe like, oh, it's a bad gift wrap, but like no one's ever gonna be like, this is terrible. Like
In my family, we make fun of Brett all the time for how horrible his gift, because it is literally, he will take the wrapping paper and wrap it around and then tape the top up and then like put it
so
there.
It looks like a hobo bindle.
Yes.
Should be hanging off the end of a stick.
Exactly. And both Brett and Garrett would always give, aside from my gift that they were giving me, they would make me wrap all of their gifts.
Wow.
That's funny.
So previously on Dice Try, our grand adventurers took a train from the town of Aversong, where they were treated to complimentary fruit salad.
Yummy.
And found themselves in the place called Treader's Veins, which is a bunch of canyons and valleys with hundreds of rivers and creeks cutting through it. And as they stepped off onto the train station, they were approached by an old crone who told Doug that he should stop looking for the Lord Magician and she could send him home. She was also very creepy. They basically told her to leave, so the woman, upset, burst into hundreds of black hummingbirds and disappeared.
Grenwyn was her name?
Grenwyn. Yes. And then you followed a path that led you down into Split Valley, where you found 2 statues standing outside of a large granite door. And you said the words, "Open Sesame," and the door rolled open, and that's where we will begin, with you standing in Split Valley in front of this large granite door that has just rolled open.
Does it smell like anything when it opens?
You actually smell some fairly pleasant smells of, like, lavender and sea salt.
Lovely.
That's really nice.
Delightful.
Bottle that, sell it as a perfume. What else are we seeing as the story?
So there's a long hallway, and you can see that there's a room at the end of the hallway. It's just dark, so you can't quite see back into that room.
Is it creepy or just kind of there?
It actually looks quite inviting. It's like clean and tidy.
I rummage in my bag and get out a torch and then like a little match and light my torch up.
Okay. So you enter and you walk down this long hallway, and it leads into a plush, swanky room that you might see on like the set of Downton Abbey or something. There's wood grain that runs floor to floor with drapes of velvet hung down to the floor. And high up on the ceiling, the windows send sharp rays of light down into the center of the room. And in the middle of the room, there's a large table that has been set up, like 8 feet long by 6 feet wide. And there are tables and chairs of the highest finery surround this table. On top of this table, there is a diorama of a city with black roads crisscrossing it. There are stoplights, a local bank, a little dingy diner and the such. This is not the type of the town that you would see in Aloha. This is a town from your world, our world, some kind of small town that anyone out in the Midwest would be able to see on any given basis. And at the top of the room, the ceiling is exposed rock with precious metals dotting out of the rock and reflecting the light that comes in through the windows. And all the dancing, colorful lights play across the room, and around the walls between the drapes there are multiple paintings. One of them is a muscle-bound guy carrying a big weapon with a belt that feeds ammunition to it. But the picture is in some sort of weird color negative, where the man is bright red and the background is blue. Another painting is a man standing beside a tall building that is on fire. And another appears to be this big, chunky pugilist with like 2 red boxing gloves on. And you start to realize that these are all movie posters. Like, the first one is for Predator. And the second one is for like the Towering Inferno, maybe? And the third one is for Rocky.
You know, you described exactly what people would say, oh, that's that, and I did not think of those things.
That's all right.
I was imagining, like, paintings.
Yeah. And then you look around, and there's one for Die Hard, and there's one for, like, Lethal Weapon, 48 Hours. Bunch of like classic action movies.
Yeah, these painters they paint fairly realistically.
Yeah.
It's almost exact.
These are really, this is nice.
They're talented.
I've seen
interesting
all
paintings.
of these movies. It's
This movie thing again.
Oh yeah,
The
the
moving pictures.
pictures moving.
yeah,
Theater, but on a picture.
So these are actors. They're pretending to be these people. You get it?
Yeah, but who painted them? I mean, they're great.
Oh, I don't know. I think they look like movie posters. They're not really paintings.
Is the part of the diorama, are the pieces movable? Like, is it like
there's like little toy cars.
Okay, yeah,
around, there are people.
I just sort of reach in and like look around, and then I pick up a car, and I was like, "What's this? It's got wheels.
That's a vehicle.
It's a box. It's a box wheel. It's not a train.
Well, no.
It's not a cart.
How do I explain this?
Is there a tiny horse inside?
No. So we use those to get around. We drive them. Driving.
You shrink, and you fit inside this tiny thing. That's some sort of magic. You didn't tell us you had magic.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
And
Oh, wow.
Ken the Fox enters in behind you, and he brushes past Doug.
Oh, hey, Ken. Long time no see.
And Ken's just like sniffing around the room, and he goes to one of the drapes that is hung along the back, and he starts like pushing it out of the way, and you can see that there's a door frame.
Oh. I'm pointing at the stoplights. What is that thing? It looks like 3 eyes. Do they watch you?
Just ignore that. Ken's found a door.
Oh. Okay. But this looks fun. Puddle just starts playing with the cars.
All right,
We don't have time for this.
I wander over to the door where Ken is and sort of climb up onto his head and try to open the door.
So you open up the door, and through the door you find what appears to be like a playroom, in quotation marks. There's a basketball court on the far side. You guys don't know what basketball is, but there's this hoop hung up about 9 feet in the air. And there are a bunch of balls on the floor. And there's also other toys lying around the room. And at the way back of the room, it's a fairly large playroom. There's a line of carriages, but the carriages don't have horses and wheels. Instead, they appear to be attached to some kind of rail system that goes off into a dark tunnel. And in the middle of the room, there's a small table with a little net across the middle of it. And there are 4 paddles lying on the table with a little ball sitting on the edge. And also sitting on this ping pong table, there is another one of the Lord Magician's journal.
Oh, hey, there's a journal over there.
Oh, yeah, there's also balls. And Puddle just runs straight to the balls and starts, like, testing the bounciness of each ball. Like, because I'm assuming they're all of all shapes and sizes. So we've got, like, basketballs and, like, footballs.
Tennis balls.
Tennis balls. And he's just like, oh. Drops it, picks it up, drops it. Oh, that one's got a lot of bounce. Oh.
Vana just, like, rolls her eyes and like, tugs on Ken's ear to, like, go over to where
Look at all these toys.
Ken, like, puts his paws up on top of the ping pong table so he can kind of climb up onto his back onto the ping pong table.
And I like, open the book. Okay.
So, this journal, likewise to the first one that you found, is filled to the brim with writing that presumably makes up the course of several years. And, like the first journal, most of the writing is pretty boring stuff. The day-to-day routine of running Aloha and running a country, fulfilling civil duties, collecting taxes, carrying out new roadworks. And none of it is of that much interest. But at the end, there's yet again a final note that appears to have been written in the final days that the Lord Magician spent at this particular place. And it reads thusly: I remember a toy chest I had when I was a child. It was always brimming out the top, but never seemed to be enough for me. These days, I feel the same way. I've surrounded myself with these things that used to bring me joy. And yet, I seem to be missing something. I can no longer stay here either. If I must be found, so be it. But I would rather not. If you head to Llewellyn Swamp, seek the one who can correctly answer this simple question. What is Spider-Man's real name?
Spider-Man.
Peter Parker.
Who?
Oh, God. So there's a character that is imaginary that people like to read about, and he has an alter ego.
So he's a hero. He's a legend.
Yeah, but he's not real.
Okay.
The answer's Peter Parker.
The answer is Peter Parker.
Yeah.
The legend of the Spider-Man has reached Llewellyn Swamp.
So I guess we go to the Llewellyn Swamp?
What the hell's that? I guess
Well, the note specifically says to find someone who can answer that question in Llewellyn Swamp.
Do we know about where that would be, or is it on our map of these?
It would be on your map.
You pull out
So I pull up the map and start looking for it. Ah,
Swamp.
there it is.
So it's a little bit further south of where you are now. You've kind of turned northwest a little bit, and now you need to go south.
Well, I guess we go south now.
So there's another person from Mart here?
Oh, interesting. Maybe that's how
Maybe
you'll
you
get
have a
back.
friend.
My question is, how would he know about this?
Well, if he's from Mart.
He's not... Nobody... Yeah. Okay, Mart.
As you guys are standing there, Ken kind of pulls himself away from the ping pong table, and he trots over and he looks through the door past the drapes into the front entrance the way you guys came. And then he doesn't bark, he does a little... And he starts scratching on the door, trying to kind of maneuver it closed.
What's wrong, Ken?
Okay, are you trying to close the door?
He nods his head.
Sort of walk up and give it a push.
As you walk towards the door, you can hear footsteps at the hallway of the front.
Guys, we're not alone.
And then you hear a voice say, "We need to find the Lord's Magician Journal."
Oh, God. Damn it.
Did they follow us?
I shoved the journal into my bag of holding.
Okay.
Is there any sort of way out?
And there's that carriage system on
Yeah.
rail.
Okay.
It disappears into a dark tunnel.
What do we think?
Probably don't want to go out that door. They sounded pretty mean.
Yeah.
And you hear, "Straighten up, lads. Baron's coming down."
Shit.
From the other side of the door, you start hearing stuff being thrown around. Sounds like that diorama got turned over. They're ripping drapes off the wall. Maybe it's hidden behind one of these paintings.
Guys, hop on.
Okay.
So you all hop in. Ken hops into Doug's lap.
I guess you're coming too.
Ken just turns back and looks at Doug with big puppy dog eyes.
That doesn't work on me, but... Let's do this.
On the other side of the door, you hear one of them yell, "Look at this, lads! I found a doorway!"
Let's go!
How does this... Do we have to... what is this? How does this... What do we...
Go,
How do we go?
Rocking back and forth in your seat, trying to get it moving. Beside you, on the front car, there's a little lever that you can pull on.
I pull it off.
You pull on the lever and
Hang
you hear
on!
click, and you hear...
It's gonna pick up.
The carriage starts to slowly move forward into that dark tunnel. And as you start to move into that dark tunnel, You see another set of carriages moving up behind the first one that came, and then the doorway bursts open, and there's a bunch of sklungs, but the one leading the way doesn't have like the big wide bulldog face of the other sklungs. This one has the head of Dalmatian, so it's like more sleek, longer snout, and he's got 2 big pointy ears. One of his ears has a bunch of earrings pierced into it.
Edgy.
And he's got a big scar running down the side of his head. You can assume that by just his stature and the way the other sklungs treat him, that he might be their leader, Baron. And as you are disappearing into the dark tunnel, Baron points his paw out at you guys, and he's like, "Ah, get him!" And the other sklungs run towards you as you disappear into the tunnel. So this carriage starts to pick up speed, and that click-clacking noise gets faster. And you feel yourself going uphill.
Oh. Usually when we go up, that means we eventually go down.
And Ken, on your lap, squeezes himself into the lap belt that you put yourself in, so you're not just like...
I should hold on tighter. And I start tighter.
Not so tight!
Oh, sorry.
You're going downhill so fast, and occasionally there's like a speck of light that passes you by. You curve around a bank, and suddenly you're on the outside of the cave.
This is awesome!
And you just see out into the valley over this large river, just screaming your heads out.
We're so high above it!
You go back in and go downhill a little bit, and then suddenly go up, and you do a loop-de-loop. And Puddle's just hanging onto Doug's neck for dear life.
I'm like holding on, like the rest of my body is flapping in the wind, and I'm holding on for dear life on Doug's collar.
There's just a bunch of people hanging on to Doug for dear life at this point. That lap belt is really straining. You do the loop, and then you come around, and it slows down for a minute.
Is it over?
That was exciting. Can we go on it again?
No!
And you come up and over the top of the valley floor that you were in the bottom of, and you can see out for miles around you.
Oh, wow.
And it's this beautiful view. And as you're at the top of the valley, you can look down and you can see that place that you exited out of earlier to look over the valley just before the loop-de-loop. There's another one of those carriage cars coming, and there are a bunch of sklungs on it.
Oh shit, they're coming after us.
Oh no.
And then it goes down again, not nearly as steep this time, and then it does a bunch of corkscrews really quickly. Over the click-clacking noise and just the sound of the rush of air, you start hearing this noise. What's that? And the carriage rocks to the side real quick.
Can we look around? Like, is something
sounds like it's wrong.
What's happening?
And as you kind of peer over the side, you see a bunch of sparks kicking around the rail. And it's leaning ever so slightly, like it's about to pop off of the rail.
Oh no, I knew I should have chosen mending.
Is it a balance thing? Can we like use weight?
It seems like this thing was probably not very well built, because that's not what Llewellyns are used to building a roller coaster.
What's underneath us?
So you exit out of the mountainside and you're going along the valley, and the river is below you.
Guys, we need to jump!
Yeah.
Jump.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think so.
All right. I mean, I'm fine with jumping. I'm made out of stuffing.
Okay, let's go. And I bail out first.
You all bail out. Ken pops himself out of the lap belt, dives out. And as you're flying through the air, you see the carriage pop off of the roller coaster rail, and it just flies through the air and smashes into the far valley wall and splinters into hundreds of pieces as you guys fall and splash into the water. And then a moment later, you see the other carriage car pass above you doesn't seem to have any problems, disappears back into the mountain face, and you seem to have avoided them for the moment.
That's good. I think we should get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Is there any shore that's by us? Yeah.
So the water's moving pretty fast, so you're going to have to swim against it, but you can reach the shore. But you're quickly being dragged downstream to God knows where.
Paddle vigorously till we get to the shore.
So you paddle vigorously to the shore and you pull yourselves all up. Take a moment to collect yourselves.
Guys, is everyone okay?
There you go.
Where's Ken?
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 Ken!
Ken!
And then slowly out of the fog, you see Ken wobbling along.
Oh, Ken! I run up to him and hug his neck. Ken!
Ken leans into you. He can't really hug you, but he can.
Aww.
I immediately get into water removal mode, so I'm just like scrunching, I'm like twisting my arms out, like scrunching myself down, like trying to squeeze out all the water that I've taken on because I weigh now like 5 or 6 times what I normally do. Squeeze. Ooh, oh God, I got really wet in this river.
And as you're standing there looking around the shore, it's not as pristine as some of the other valley floors or shores that you've gone by. This one seems to be covered in trash from side to side. And there's clothing and clockwork pieces, fishing line and nets just lying along the shore.
Gee, what a dump.
Yeah, is this usually where you forage your food from, Doug?
Funny.
You said you eat trash.
It's not trash, it's just trash food. Ooh, Doritos. Oh, they're empty.
Yeah, there's a bunch of trash all over.
Okay.
And then you hear a voice. Well, look what we got here, fellas.
I immediately pull my sword out and I'm like, who said that?
And from out behind a pile of trash, you see a Cuddle approach. But this one is a stuffed elephant, and he is just dirty and ragged. He's covered in mud. He might have been like baby blue colored at one point, but now it's just like this weird brown sludge color.
Okay.
And out from behind all the refuse appears
More Cuddles?
more creatures. Some of them are Cuddles. Some of them appear to be little like rat-like creatures.
Are these your friends?
I don't know. I still have my sword out. And I'm like, who are you? What is this? Where are we?
You're in our neck of the neighborhood. And the elephant puts his hands on his hips. That's right. You've come to the Valley of the Refuse.
What is that?
I think I've heard of this place. This is where all the forgotten things end up.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Well, lucky for you, we are not forgotten, and we just seem to have experienced a hiccup in our adventure, and we will be on our way.
Maybe I can talk to him.
Oh, don't let him do
Oh,
it.
yeah. Look at you all nice and clean. I bet you have a kid waiting for you, don't you? I had a kid too once.
Good sir, we are on an adventure to get back to my homeland.
That's his big kid.
Where's your homeland?
Well, it's called Earth, but I guess we'll call it Mart.
Mart.
You one of them Martians?
You've heard of it?
Hey, Trey, bring over the thing. And he brings over waterlogged, what looks like one of those coupon pamphlets you might get from a greeter. You see this? It's like, it's a 2-wheeled thing, and I guess children ride on it, but you can get 75% off.
So you only get 25% of a thing?
Yeah, it's like what one tithe?
That's... Who wants just a tire?
I used to give these out. How'd you get them?
Just all the trash collects here. And that's why we collect it. And that's why this is the Valley of the Refuse.
A good, kind elephant, sir.
Cuddle, what's your name?
What's your name?
Puddle.
My name is Wombat.
Wombat.
Wombat?
So much better than I ever
The
anticipated.
elephant cuddle.
I
Wow.
thought you were gonna go with muddle.
Wombat.
Yeah.
This is my friend Vonda. This is my child, Doug. We're not lost, but we do need to find where we're going. We're looking for the Lord Magician.
Oh, are you, huh?
And we're trying to get to
The Leeson Swamp.
the swamp.
Well, I could show you the way out. Yeah, I could, couldn't I? But I also see you carrying some fancy items on you. And we don't get much of that down here. I mean, look at this trash. And he picks up like half of a cuckoo clock and he's like, look at this. It doesn't even work anymore. It's just a bird. And he like holds it up so the bird like drops out.
What would you like from us?
I don't know. What crazy, unusual things you carrying on you.
Show him the cucumber.
We do have lots of cucumbers.
I got a cucumber that looks like a sword.
We got plenty of cucumbers, don't we, Trey? And Trey holds up like a basket of black cucumbers.
Damn it!
Yeah, but this one's green and it looks like a sword.
Nah, I don't want it.
All right.
I'm a cuddle. I don't eat.
We got this dagger. I pull out my people-sized dagger with both hands.
Oh, you want weapons? We got weapons. And all the like little rat creatures and cuddles pull out swords and daggers.
Well, I don't know what else to give you because we've got some basic stuff.
What about you? You got anything from Matt?
What do I have from Martin on me?
Your
Do I have
work
my
uniform?
Vest? I have my vest.
Yeah.
I have this vest that is from the world of Mart and is part of Mart's storaging.
Well, look, it's got a little Mart embroidery on there.
Oh, the royal signet of Matt.
Yes, one of a kind. Would you like this? Will this help us?
Hold on a second. And he like turns and he starts talking with Trey, one of the other cuddles, who looks like a basset hound, so he's got long ears, almost draped down to his knees. Yeah. All right, we'll show you the way out. For the vest.
You show us the way out, you get the vest.
Isn't that what I just said?
Well, he's implying that you get the vest after you show us the way out, and not before you show us the way out.
Sorry.
This is why she's the smart one.
All right, I can show you the way out. Follow me. And he's just like trundling through the big piles of trash.
And I just sort of, Cuddles, how did y'all end up here?
And Trey, the basset hound, looks at you. Well, it's kind of a sad story. I used to have a kid. And then he grew up, and he didn't have time for old Trey. Didn't want to scrunch my ears no more. And he flips his ears, so it kind of flaps in the wind for a second, and then falls limply down by his side. Oh. And now I just got thrown out. I'm part of the refuse now.
Wait, so is this a place where trash just collects, or do people dump here?
People just throw stuff in the river to get rid of it, and it washes up on shore here. It's all we have.
Oh. But how did you get the stuff from Mart?
It just washed up on shore here. I don't know where it came from.
So it came from the river? Well, there's got to be a way it came here. How did it get here? Maybe
and it doesn't
we can go back.
Maybe I'm off on this, but the Lord Magician doesn't seem like a litterer to me, so I don't think he'd just toss out things from your world.
You think the Lord Magician is from my world?
I don't know.
Trey like flips through that little coupon book and he opens it up to a page and you see a little kid holding a stuffed animal in their arms. Is this what it's like in your world?
Well, yeah, but those things are not alive.
What?
They don't talk to people like you do. They're not real. They're just stuffed animals. They don't do anything.
These children are walking around with corpses?
No, they're not. They're not dead. They were just created and they never came to life. They just stayed the way they are.
So the children in your world would rather love a stuffed animal than a
I'm sure if
thinking being?
I'm sure if you were there in our world, they would love you just as much. I just don't think we have anything like that.
Really?
Yeah.
How do I get there?
Well, that's what I want to know. Tell you what, why don't you come with us? And you can go to Mart too.
Are you playing with me?
Never.
Hey, back off. He's my child. Let's get one thing straight. Trent.
It's Trey.
Trey.
Okay. You can follow Wombat.
Goodbye, Trent.
It's Trey. Nobody remembers. And he just like sits sadly on the shore, playing with a broken yo-yo.
Poor thing.
So you follow Wombat through these mounds of trash that have collected on the shore, and you eventually find a path that leads up the steep side of the valley. So here we are, the way out.
Hey, question.
Yeah.
How long ago did the first Mart things start coming up from the river?
Well, I'm not really sure. You see, the only calendars we get are thrown out because they're out of date.
You don't know when it is right now, do you?
No. I mean, for all I know, we could have been invaded by Mott-Mott.
Well, not so much. I mean, if he's the invasion party, then I think we'll be all right.
I have no desire to invade.
Doug, does this... And I'm just looking at the Mart thing. Is there can you tell when this is from?
Yeah,
Does this
there's a
look
date
recent?
at the top.
So you flip through it, and it appears to be from about 2007.
2007. Wow. That wasn't too long ago, but it was a ways.
When's that?
In Mart world,
How many years ago?
that was about, I want to say around 8.
More like 12.
12.
This is why I work at Mart.
Wait, what's the year? What's the year it was when you came here?
It was actually 2019. He's making the joke that Doug's too dumb to do math.
Yeah, so we're like, 19 minus, that's 12.
Oh. God.
It's all right.
While they're figuring that out, I'm gonna pull out the map. Hey, Wombat, where are you guys on here?
And he takes a look at it, and he's like, there's a lot of valleys around here. Let's see. And he digs through his pack a little bit, and he finds a rusty old sextant that he pulls out, and he's like, checking the sun. I don't know how to use this thing, and he throws it over his head, narrowly missing Ken, who dives out of the way. Reaches into his bag, and he finds like a big novelty pen. And he's like, right here! And he draws a massive X through a big portion of the valley. You can obviously guess that that's not where it is.
Uh-huh. There's no rivers where you've marked here, so I'm assuming this is incorrect.
Yeah, but it's where I'd like to be.
Vonda just sort of like puts her head in her hands like,
right.
yes.
I
would like to try to find where this river goes to see where all this junk is coming from.
Oh, this river? This is the Brown River.
Brown River, okay. So do I see a Brown River marked on the map? Cool. And where does that lead anywhere near where we're going to the Llewellyn Swamps?
Eventually, it reaches Llewellyn Swamp. It would take much longer to actually follow the river
river.
than just
The river
get
itself.
up above.
But does the river go downstream from the Llewellyn Swamp, or
It would lead to the
lead to
Llewellyn
the
Swamp.
So
But-
whatever's on the opposite side of that is where this trash is coming from.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're specifically at like the lazy bend of the Brown River, which is why all the trash winds up here.
Okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna maybe
Highlight the
do a
river.
little highlight of this. Maybe check back at see where all this trash is coming from after we visit the swamp.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe.
that'd be a good idea.
Hey man, don't hold out on me. Give me my vest.
A deal's a deal.
I mean, you haven't gotten us to the swamp yet.
You said you wanted a way out of the valley. I showed you the way out.
I said I wanted to go to Mart.
Well, I don't know where that is,
I mean, this
but
is why
I'm
you
sure
signed
it's
a contract.
lovely. I'm sure you're treated with the utmost respect there.
That was part of our deal.
Make a intimidation check, which is your d20 plus your charisma modifier.
18. With charisma, that's 18.
So you step up to Wombat, who's like standing.
Man, what am I good at?
18's pretty good though. You step up
luck.
to Wombat, standing over him, and Wombat's standing there with his hands on his hips for a second. He's like, all right. Maybe on your way out to Mott-Mott, you could just drop it in a river for me.
Deal. Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for your assistance.
Thanks, Wombat.
Hey, you,
Yeah,
Puddle,
yeah,
watch out for your kid. Don't lose him.
yeah. I'll try not to. He's pretty big, so I can pick him out in a crowd pretty easy.
I'm not a child.
And he's got that big old Mart vest. You can see him from a mile away.
We're thinking about putting a leash on him though. anyways.
What a nice vest.
I'm standing right here.
It'll be yours once we're done. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah, just find the Brown River, dump it in it. It'll wash up here eventually.
All right. Good to know.
I get a few feet away. I didn't want to say anything, but that was the cutest couple I've ever seen.
Ooh.
Besides you.
Nope, you already said it. Thanks, Doug.
I'm sorry, I like elephants.
Weird, but all right. I'm just gonna walk.
I didn't mean it like that.
It's fine.
I think you really pissed him off, man.
So, Puddle, rather than climb up on Doug's shoulder, is actually strutting up the path, the steep path.
Climbing over rocks.
Hey, Puddles.
Yeah.
I got something for you.
What?
I hand him my badge. Be like, take care of this for me. It's important.
It's your badge.
But I trust you. And I'm sorry I said that.
No, it's fine. Elephants are cute. They're really cute. I'm just...
Well, bears are cute too.
All right.
You want to hug it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Disgusting.
Vonda and Ken just look at each other and then look back and look back at each other.
I mean, I think you should keep your badge on.
You think
it
so?
makes you feel, I don't know, it's official, and then everyone knows that your name is Doug.
Yeah, we can identify the body. I mean...
What does she mean by that?
We can identify who you are from a distance away.
Please don't let me die.
I have never let one of my kids. I haven't let one of my kids die yet. By my word as a cuddle, I will protect you.
Is there like a secret handshake we need to do?
Just touch my tummy. Thanks.
Poke him in his soft little tummy.
I turned to Ken again. Disgusting.
Ken nods.
Okay, are you guys done?
We're bonding.
Okay, but let's go. We gotta go. We got a long walk ahead of us.
The bond between a cuddle and a child is sacred.
I'm not a child.
For all intents and purposes, you are.
So you walk up the path and come back on top of the valley, and you're looking out over the hundreds of rivers and stream valleys that have been created. There are bridges that go over the top of the valley, so you can cut across to where you need to go.
So I'm out there with my map. Okay, let's go. This bridge looks like it's gonna cross over to the swamp, so...
How does that bridge look? Is it rickety? Is it solid?
So the bridge you are looking at is actually a long stone bridge made of impeccable marble that has been well polished and cared for. Which seems pretty crazy considering it is usually foggy and rainy here in Critter's Veins. So it would be pretty hard to actually care for marble in the outdoors under these conditions.
Yeah.
Wow, this is well maintained.
This is really, really nice rock.
I have a feeling we're gonna have to pay a toll to get across this bridge.
Yeah.
And as you start approaching the bridge, you see a figure standing on the bridge. As you approach the bridge, and this figure standing in the middle of the bridge, that's where we will end this episode of Dice Try.
Doug look big.
Thank you for listening to Dice Try. I'm your host, Daniel Schaub, and this episode's cast has included Paul Dixon, Earl Kim, and Crista Llewellyn. This production has been edited by Gabriel Toya-Melendez with special music provided by Glenn Davis. Please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Dice Try Podcast, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe and review. So, let's welcome back our players, Paul, Earl, Crista, and our audio engineer, GTM, which of course stands for... Damn it! We're only 6 episodes in and I'm blank.
Well, and also trying to make it look Christmas related.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Grover something, but I don't.
Good tidings, man.
Tidings, man.
But there's also
There's
the
also lots
turkey
of
man. There's lots of man.